This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. There's a common phrase used by conservatives and Republicans in arguments about politics all the time. In fact, somebody tweeted me a meme with the statement in it. And I'm going to play a video of Lauren Boebert talking about this. The phrase is that we are not a democracy, we are a republic. We're a republic, not a democracy, they say. It is both meaningless and also wrong. And I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to explain why. But before I do, I want to play Lauren Boebert, low information dum-dum. I mean, if we're having a contest for who is the most stupid person elected to Congress, she very well might be it. I used to say it was Louis Gohmert from Texas, but it's very likely Lauren Boebert who has dethroned the aforementioned Louis Gohmert. And then I'm going to go through, because I'm just the kind of nerd that has a book filled with all of the inaugural addresses of our presidents and the collector's edition of the Federalist Papers. I'm going to read from what our founders and Abraham Lincoln actually said about our representative democracy that we live in. First, though, let's play brilliant mind legislator Lauren Boebert claiming that the United States isn't a democracy.
So maybe one of the things that we need to address with the Democrat parties, you played a clip from the teachers union with Randy there talking. Maybe one thing we need to address is we're not a democracy. So
Yes,
quit with
correct.
that. Maybe
Yes,
that's where you're getting it wrong, is saying that we are a democracy. We're a constitutional republic. And that is something that needs to be taught in our schools, not this woke critical race theory on how to hate our country and hate your fellow classmates and community members because of the color of their skin.
So I'll just dispense with addressing all the other nonsense about CRT and wokeness, since that's the controversy du jour for the Republican Party. Let's define republic. A state in which supreme power is held by the people and their elected representatives, and which has an elected or nominated president rather than a monarch. Yeah, that's what we have. You see, a republic is a form of democracy. But they wouldn't know that. It's like saying, oh, no, this is an orange, not a fruit. This is a diesel tractor trailer, not a vehicle. It doesn't make any sense. Here's democracy, a system of government by the whole population or all the eligible members of a state, typically through elected representatives. Weird how elected representatives, the words elected and representatives, appear in both definitions. But you don't have to take my word for it. Let me read from some of our founding fathers, the men who set up our government and aspired for what it would become. Alexander Hamilton wrote a letter to Governor Morris in 1777 in which he said this: "But a representative democracy, where the right of election is well secured and regulated, and the exercise of the legislative, executive, and judiciary authorities is vested in select persons, chosen really and not nominally by the people, will, in my opinion, be most likely to be happy, regular, and durable." Alexander Hamilton. Let's go to some of my books here, since again, I am that nerd. Federalist 51, James Madison. I'm not one to often quote from owners of human beings, enslavers of human beings, but he did have a critical role in the founding and the writing of our particular founding documents. James Madison wrote this: "In the extended Republic of the United States and among the great variety of interests, parties, and sects which it embraces, a coalition of a majority of the whole society could seldom take place on any other principles than those of justice and the general good." James Madison. And if that doesn't convince Lauren Boebert of the fact that a republic is a form of democracy, let's go to Abraham Lincoln, a Republican. Republicans love to talk about how they embrace and embody the principles of the Republican Party, and he was the first Republican president. They have Lincoln Day, where they celebrate republicanism, even though he did not stand for anything that resembles the modern Republican Party. The same people who wave the Confederate flag these days. He said this in his first inaugural address: "A majority held in restraint by constitutional checks and limitations, and always changing easily with deliberate changes of popular opinions and sentiments, is the only true sovereign of a free people. Whoever rejects it does of necessity fly to anarchy or to despotism. Unanimity is impossible. The rule of a minority as a permanent arrangement is wholly inadmissible, so that rejecting the majority principle, anarchy or despotism, is all that is left." Abraham Lincoln. So what do you say, Lauren Boebert? What do you say, Republicans? What do you say, mindless automatons who constantly repeat this refrain? We are a republic. We're not a democracy. You see, the thing that I fear, the thing that I believe is the case, throw my bookmarks away here, is that they really don't want democracy. They don't want majority rule. They don't want a representative democracy the way we have it. They want to stifle the vote of groups that they don't prefer. They want to suppress the vote of black and brown folks. They want to suppress the vote of younger voters. They want to close polling stations to make it more difficult. By their own admission, they want photo ID as a suppressive measure, because they know when more people have access to the franchise, Democrats typically win. Lauren Boebert, I believe, is so stupid she doesn't understand what the integral mechanics are and the granular level details of this thing. She's just parroting something that she hears because she's a dum-dum. Wanton killing. She's another idiot like Marjorie Taylor Greene. And those of you who would say, oh, you're just ad hominem now. No, I'm not ad hominem here. I've explained, I've made an argument, and I pepper it with ad hominem. I pepper it with name calling of these idiots who have no place representing other people, who don't have the intellectual capacity, the cognitive brain pan to be able to make decisions that impact the lives of hundreds of millions of people. What do you think? I'd love to know. Let's mix it up in the comments. You can also call, leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me, daily@dollemore.com. Follow me on social media. I'd love to see you there. I'm at Dollemore just about everywhere, all across the board. And if you appreciate what I do, got a little elbow rest here. If you appreciate what I do and you'd like to help support my work, produce what I do here, click the join button below, become a channel member, or even better, you can go over to my Patreon page, patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast, and help support my work there. Share this video the next time someone says, we're not a republic, we're not a democracy, we're a republic. I think it would be useful for idiots to be educated. Anyway, I love you guys. I appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another.